The other day I had a friend tell me, or he begged me basically, to say, you've got to try this new Steam Deck. It's the talk of the town. Everyone's going on about it. You can play any game you want. It's fantastic, and it's a handheld from, I don't know, for the PC basically, but it's just, he just couldn't stop going on about it. And I said, yes, I'll give it a go. I'll try it out. I'm a big fan of handhelds. Yeah, give me a week with it. And after playing it for a week, I thought, yeah, it is pretty good. You get to play all these new games. I could play The Witcher 3 on it. I could play all these. It's really good with emulation. I can play Nintendo 64 games, PS2 games, anything under the sun. But after a week with it, I kind of came to the point where he's saying, are you going to buy one yourself? Surely, it's awesome, don't you think? I said, yeah, it's good, but I don't think I'm going to get one myself. I think there's still a device out there that's better. And it came out 11 years ago. The device I am, of course, talking about is the PS Vita, which came out, 2011, 2012? I don't know. But somehow it's remained intact, full battery and all. This thing hasn't aged a day. It's a marvel, this thing. It's a Rolls Royce, it's the Porsche, it's the Rolex, it is the hot chick in the classroom that you will never get a date with. This thing is absolutely gorgeous, and it's still clocking, and somehow it's still relevant and actually better than its competition of the modern day. I don't know how that's possible. Actually, I do know how that's possible, and I'm going to tell you, but this thing never ceases to amaze, especially after it's just been jailbroken. It's just opened up a whole new realm of possibilities, not to mention all the homebrew people and the community behind it have just made this thing get better and better with age. So yeah, let me take you through why this little beast is better than the latest monster, the Steam Deck. So you put these two together and yeah, look at it. Steam Deck is smashing it in almost every category. It's got more RAM, it's got more memory, it's got bigger collection of games, it's got basically anything. But the only problem I had with it, or not really problems, just areas where it lacked in terms of PS Vita, is that it is cumbersome. I mean, this thing is big. It's huge. Compared to the PS Vita, it's quite big. Now, it's not to mean it's not good to control and good grip and feels good and all that stuff. But, one of the reasons you have a handheld device is to take on traveling. Traveling, you're always, either reading a book or on your phone. It's the best place kind of to game. And that's where people think they're going to use the Steam Deck and have a good time gaming. Now, every time I used it for gaming, I just didn't get that enjoyable experience. It was too big to get it out of my bag, and you can't fit it in your pocket like a PS Vita. You have to put it in your bag, and you're probably putting it in a protective sleeve like my friend has, and it's big. It took up a lot of space in my bag, and then when I pulled it out, took it out of the case, turned it on, got all the thing going, I don't know, people were looking at me like an idiot. It's basically a laptop. Why wouldn't you have a laptop and just be gaming on your laptop? There's a reason why people don't do it. It's because it's too big, it's too awkward, you're just balancing it on your lap. This one, of course, you're gripping it with your hands, but I don't know, compared to the PS Vita, it's a real effort, and I don't know, I just didn't enjoy gaming on it, to tell you the truth, when I was either on a plane, on a train, or just commuting to or fro, or even just in between work, and you've got a bit of time. Look, it's enjoyable, it works, you can get into it, if you can ignore all the people passing you by and all that stuff as you're trying to play these games, it's alright, but I don't know, I just think in that area the PS Vita is so much better, because you can basically just put the PS Vita in your pocket, you can game away, and then when you hit your stop or whatever, you just press that top button, pauses it, throw it back in your pocket, and you're off and you're running. And then you can pick that up 5 minutes later. Anything that happens, if someone stops you, you don't have to go, oh, let me move this gigantic thing and put it back in my bag. It's just straight in your pocket. It's just so easy to use. It's so versatile and flexible. I don't know, I just think the PS Vita has it hands down when it comes just traveling in terms of gaming. And on that same note, if you're traveling and you're playing games, just AAA games just don't work. I mean, I tried to play The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk and Red Dead 2, and as much as it's like, wow, I'm playing these games on a device as I'm on the train, but I'm not really enjoying the game. It's just too many things going on in a train. You can't really focus. You've got people talking in the background, people moving around. You have to keep moving if people get off and off for a stop. It's just not as enjoyable. You can't really get invested in those big games. As much as it is good to play, I think the best kind of game to play whilst you're commuting is those side-scrolling adventures like 2D platformers, or Nintendo 64 games are fantastic little platformers. Games you can kind of pick up and go, get a quick star, get a quick high score, something like that. And the thing is, the PS Vita has all those games perfectly. Jailbroken PS Vita can play Nintendo 64 games, it can play SNES games, Super NES games, all that stuff. I will say with the Nintendo 64 games, you're probably getting the best out of it, except you aren't getting some big titles like Rogue Squadron, Conker's Bad Fur Day, or GoldenEye, which is a bit of a letdown, but you do get most of the library. I don't know, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm happy where it is with the Nintendo 64 playability. It's going to keep me going for a while. But yeah, that's where the PS Vita shines again, is that you get to play these little games on this little device that's so easy to hold. Whereas the Steam Deck, it's too much of an effort for the little gaming I wanted to play with. So I think that's where the Vita really beats it down. Where does that leave it? You know, it leaves gaming either at home or far away. Now, if you're going to play a AAA title, a big Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, if you're going to play those titles at home on this Steam Deck, where you have a bit more peace and quiet and a bit more time to, you know, really enjoy it, then why don't you just play it on the PC or the PlayStation 4 or 5 that you've got on the TV right next to you? I mean, is it better to play it with it like this, or sitting down on a couch watching it from a big TV? So yeah, I think in that category, when are you going to use it, actually play these big games? Not at home, not on traveling in the workplace. The only other thing I can think of is when you go traveling really far and you don't have a PS4 or a computer next to you, you're in a hotel or something like that, then that's perfect. That's perfect time to sit down, play those games on your little device, wherever you want. But the thing is, the PS Vita can already do that. You can actually play AAA titles on this via remote play with the PS4. Now, they originally advertised it as something you only do at home. So if somebody else wanted to use the TV, you'd pick up your PS Vita and you continue playing the game. Now, I don't know why they sold it so short, but I've been using this remote play to play miles and kilometers away from where I live. In the middle of the park, I can pick up, connect this to my phone's Wi-Fi and just connect to my PS4 and start playing. And it plays seamlessly. I mean, the connection's fantastic. I've got very good internet, I will say that. But I was also playing Apex Legends on the train whilst I was trying it out. I lost the game. There was a bit of a glitch or two as we went through some tunnels, but I played through a couple of games, and I was just amazed at the connection on this thing. I was also playing it the other day, 200 meters underground at the train station whilst I was waiting for a train. It was about 10 minutes away. I had a game of Callisto Protocol, and it was fantastic. No one was around. It was much better to play with. But you know, it has all those options. So there's a couple of reasons why the Vita kind of outplays the Steam Deck. But also, I'd just like to say that the PS Vita is a work of art that was basically ahead of its time, I think. I always thought it had great potential. It needed a bit more love, and it got that love when people started opening it up and really giving it, a lot of attention and giving these homebrew ports and doing all the things that they're doing now. It's fantastic, the range of games and all the updates and just what the community is doing. Now, that may happen for the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck's got a whole lot more potential. It's got better emulation with, DS games. You can play Wii games. I think you can even play some Switch games on there. I mean, if you want a range of games to play, if you want to play that game that you just can't find the old console for or whatever, the Steam Deck can do that for you. And the Vita can only do so much. But my thing with that is I just feel that the Vita's got enough already. I mean, you can do NES games, SNES games, Vita games are very underrated. They're fantastic. Uncharted Golden Abyss, my god. Nintendo 64 games. I'm hoping for an update on that. I think the Nintendo 64 compatibility with this thing just works so well. I love playing Nintendo 64 games on my Vita. I mean, you've got pretty much all the good games there you want. So I'm pretty happy where it's at, but it could be better. But at the same time, we're not getting the Wii games, you're not getting the DS games. I'm also thinking though, like, I'm only really going to play about 2 or 3 of those games on those different consoles, and they're mainly Mario and Zelda games that I missed out on. I'd like if someone ported them to, but I'm not really crying about not being able to play GameCube games or Wii games at this state. But you've still got so much more on offer. I mean, you've got the entire PS1 library, PSP library, you've got all the PS2 classics on there, like Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank Collection, God of War. They all play brilliantly. You can earn trophies on there. Yeah, you can earn the achievements on Steam Deck, but as a PlayStation fan, I love doing trophies. I love being able to grind out games and complete them to 100%. There's just so much I love with the PS Vita that still works, that's still going to keep me coming back. And the other thing is, I said before, it's lasted 11 years. This little piece of hardware, this thing has lasted 11 years, not a scratch on it. Not to mention, it's got all these weird gimmicks on it that I love. You've got a rear-facing camera and a front-facing camera. You've got a touchscreen and a back touchscreen. The only thing it's missing, and I wish if they ever did a PS Vita 2, which would be amazing. I can only just imagine what it could be possible with that thing. And, you know, maybe make that remote play compatible with the PS5. But I'd add a second R trigger. Now, they do have little things where you press the back buttons on the touchpad, which, you know, it does work, I have to say. But, you know, that second R trigger or L trigger really would be a bit of a help. But, you know, this thing is so good. It keeps offering more and more. I hang out every day for a new update or a new game or whatever the community kind of puts out there. But yeah, with the Steam Deck, I'm not saying the Steam Deck is terrible. Of course it's not. It's the latest thing. It's probably the best thing out there. I just think the PS Vita is more compatible with what people want. Like, especially if you want gaming on the go, on the train, in the car, on the plane. You know, it just beats the Steam Deck, I feel, in terms of, you know, just putting it in your pocket and like not being so cumbersome. It's just so easy to kind of deal with. So yeah, they're my reasons why the PS Vita beats the Steam Deck. I'm sure you will all agree. And good luck trying to find a PS Vita these days. They are hard to find. But yeah, if you did manage to hang on to one, you're a very smart person. Thank you.